with the hands like that. Yeah. Oh, look, they should have. Oh, my gosh, this is close to her. I have to hear her this time.
That bit's gorgeous up there, isn't it? The bloody tower.
Honestly, they've done a great job. Yeah.
All the screens around. That's beautiful.
You just cannot. You're not in a rubbish sink. It's amazing. Yeah. Pretty cool place.
No.
I've just. I'm a big NFL fan. I've got lots of teams that I've taught, but I have just literally paid my flight to New Orleans.
Woo!
I'm going to the Super Bowl.
You went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I've got a clue who's playing. Don't care. I've got my flight, and I've got a little guest house that I'm staying just outside the French Quarter. Near the stage. Oh, very excited.
You're gonna have fun there.
I'm going to have too much fun. It's going to be amazing. Very excited about the food. As you can see, I've just got back off holiday, so I'm like, but yeah, I booked it. So it's all booked. You just need to get a ticket now.
Oh, I thought you had to.
No tickets because we don't know who's playing. So I'm going. Don't care who's playing. I'm going to the Super Bowl. Get in there. Right then, my friends. We are standing in what is known as the outer wall of the Tower of London. What does that mean? It means that we are physically standing in the middle of our defensive system. Now, the inner wall now is behind you. The outer wall behind me was not built until 1280. Now, the River Thames used to flow all the way through here. If you look behind you, you can see the different change in the brickwork, because that's how high the tide could come up. In the year 1275, Dutch engineers came to the Royal Palace and they physically moved an entire riverbed system back. This outer defensive wall was finished by 1280, the wharf was completed, and the River Thames has sat there ever since. So we doff our caps to the Dutch for their amazing engineering ability. This roadway was then raised about 10 feet. That is why we now look down onto the most famous, or should I say, infamous gate in the world, Traitor's Gate. This was built on the orders of King Edward I. He needed a safer, a more useful entry point into the royal palace. He was absolutely sick to the back teeth, travelling through the packed, narrow streets of the city. Convoys were being attacked, stores were being stolen, but worst of all, his prisoners. His Scottish prisoners, they were being set free. Very clever man decided to choose the River Thames as a highway, so at high tide, boats could pass through these gates and unload their cargo right here in safety. Therefore, my American cousins, this gate was originally called Watergate. Sorry. Its name was then changed to Traders Gate because it did become a trade entrance, and then along came the Tudors. And it was during the Tudor period that the name was changed to Traitor's Gate, due to the high number of alleged traitors that would enter this mighty fortress through those grim gates. Amongst them were 4 Queens of England: Queen Anne Boleyn, Queen Catherine Howard, Lady Jane Grey, a 16-year-old child, the uncrowned queen of only 9 days. These 3 ladies came here into the royal palace and they never left. All found guilty of high treason, taken through the archway onto Tower Green, where they were executed and then buried somewhere here in a mass unmarked grave. Now, I did say 4 Queens of England, because we did have a prisoner here as a young princess, who later became one of our greatest monarchs to date. Now, folks, if we just look back down Water Lane, on the right-hand side, you get a very clear picture now of the Bell Tower, named because on top is a little white belfry, Inside still contains the oldest surviving curfew and alarm bell left in the City of London. All the other curfew and alarm bells were destroyed in the Great Fire of London in 1666. Now, back in the day, we would ring that bell to sound the alarm inside the Royal Palace, and that was the signal for every single gate to be closed. All of the drop gates, they were lowered, and every single battlement we would man for defence. Now, we still ring this bell at the end of each working day. We ring this bell to warn all of our lovely visitors and those strangers amongst us that the Tower grounds are now closed. My only piece of advice is this. If you are within the boundary of this Royal Palace when that bell starts to ring and your name is Simon, game on. Now, the bell tower is the strongest of the 13 towers that surround the Royal Palace. This is where we held our more important prisoners, because that tower you can only gain access through the King's house. The windows that you see at the rear with the balconette, that is the back of the King's house. The access point to the lower chamber goes downstairs. It's a 20-foot cell. Upstairs, the upper chamber, is called the strong room. See where the windows are fitted? That was the prison cell of a young Princess Elizabeth Tudor. She was a prisoner here on the orders of her half-sister, Queen Mary Tudor. Mary had declared Elizabeth a traitor, saying she had taken part in the Sir Thomas Wyatt rebellion against the Queen's plan to marry Philip of Spain. Now, eventually, Princess Elizabeth, she was set free, but not before her half-sister, Queen Mary Tudor, called her into the Queen's house, as it was known then, and told her in no uncertain terms, "My dearest sister, should you dare return to the boundary that is Londinian whilst I am the Queen of England, I will have your head." Oh, sassy pants herself. Now, Princess Elizabeth was banished to the Palace of Woodstock, and that stood in Oxfordshire, just near Blenheim, and she remained there for just over 3 years until the death of Queen Mary Tudor. Having had no children, the line of accession fell to Elizabeth. She was brought here to prepare the Queen for her coronation. She left these gates with the crown jewels and regalia, where she headed to Westminster Abbey. The St. Edward's crown was placed upon her head, and she was then declared Queen Elizabeth I. Absolutely. Now, it is said her first declaration as our great monarch was this. "I shall not be returning to the Tower of London. It is a dark and evil place, not fit for this Queen of England." Now, it's said that she's the only monarch in our entire history to never step foot back inside this Royal Palace and Fortress in her long reign of nearly 45 years. And you really can't blame her, because not only was she a prisoner here, but this is where her own mother became a prisoner. Her own mother stood trial here, was found guilty of high treason on every single false charge brought against her. She was then executed here and then buried somewhere here in a mass unmarked grave. Because Queen Elizabeth I, her mother was in fact, thank you, Queen Anne Boleyn. Come on, folks. Oh, come on. Now, in a moment, we're going to embark on the final part of our adventure. We're going to go through the archway. Please be careful of the scaffolding. Yeah, it's safe, they've said. I'll let you go first. I'm joking. When we're going to go through the archway, we're going to go to the top of the stairs. We're going to go a bit left to Tower Green. My friends, just do me an honour. Just part like the Red Sea for me. Just make a gap so I can fight my way through first. Are we ready to learn about deaths of two of our queens? Yeah. Are you sure?
Yeah.
Let's head off under the arch. Head off. Come on, top.
Queen Elizabeth I on Thames. 45 years now.
Yeah.
Oh, go birds. Nice, good win yesterday. Very good win. Come on, my friends, you may be on holiday. I am not. Hurry up. Got any Patriot fans? Oh, okay. Got them, You've actually got the, got them from the Winter Tower. Got any Dallas Cowboy fans in? I do apologise. The Detroit Lions just, wow. Did you see any of the game?
No, they didn't lose it.
It was great.